All right, let's get into it. For a long time, AI was just this buzzword you'd hear about with, self-driving cars or fancy search results. But now, it's starting to show up in one of the most personal, most human parts of our lives, our mental health. So we're going to dig into the real research to figure out what's real hope and what's just hype.
So let's just start with the biggest question right up front, shall we? Would you personally actually trust an artificial intelligence with what's going on in your own mind?
And I'm asking because this isn't some sci-fi hypothetical for the year 2050. Seriously, the technology we're about to walk through is moving out of the lab and into the real world as we speak. This is happening now.
So let's start with the most direct application. And I'm not talking about those simple chatbots that just send you like calming quotes. I mean, imagine your next clinical checkup. Your very first screening is actually with an AI.
This right here is the big breakthrough. Researchers have actually built generative AI, the kind of AI that can create new content like a conversation, that can do way more than just listen. It can conduct a full, structured clinical interview, the exact same kind a human doctor uses to screen for things like depression and anxiety.
Okay, so this is a massive shift. We're moving way beyond those simple symptom checkers you find online and into a world where AI could be a true clinical partner. So how is it really different?
Well, this is the key. On one side, you've got the old way, right? Static digital forms where you're just clicking boxes. But on the other side, you've got this new AI-led interview. It asks follow-up questions, it adjusts based on what you say. It's a real conversation, and that leads to a much, much more nuanced and accurate evaluation. And that leads us to this really crucial term, a clinical grade evaluator. This is not a wellness app, okay? This is a system with accuracy that can actually rival a human-scored assessment. It's a serious medical tool, and it's designed to help sort patients and get them to the right care a whole lot faster.
So why does this matter so much? Well, for one, it frees up human clinicians to focus on what they do best, treatment and empathy. The AI never gets tired, it never has a bad day. It can help remove subjective bias, and it scores every single assessment the exact same way. It's a perfect example of how automation can support, not replace, human expertise.
Okay, so we've seen the AI as an interviewer. Now, let's zoom out a bit and look at something even more fundamental. I'm talking about how AI is helping us literally see inside the brain to understand the root causes of these conditions.
To see what I mean, let's check out this project from Stanford called BrainSynth. It's a generative AI model that's designed to help scientists find these incredibly subtle patterns in brain scans, patterns that are linked to things like depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline.
Here's the problem that researchers have always had. They're usually working with really small data sets. I mean, you might only get access to, say, 100 MRI scans. And with a sample size that small, finding reliable patterns is just incredibly difficult.
This is where BrainSynth comes in, and it's brilliant. Just think of it like a super sophisticated digital photocopier for the brain. It takes that small sample of real MRIs and it learns the underlying patterns so well that it can then generate thousands of brand new, totally unique, and incredibly realistic synthetic scans.
And the result? It's just staggering. You go from a dataset of only 100 to over 5,000. That is a complete game changer. All of a sudden, you have enough data to start seeing patterns that were totally invisible before.
And why does this matter? Because it lets us uncover the absolute earliest, most subtle brain changes that are tied to mental health conditions. We can potentially see these patterns long before symptoms get severe. It makes research cheaper, faster, and it opens the door to a future where we might be able to move from just treatment to actual prevention.
Okay, so we've seen the AI interviewer and the brain mapper. Now let's zoom out one last time and look at the whole global ecosystem. Because it isn't just universities working on this. Big tech is placing a massive bet on the future of AI and mental health.
And what's really interesting is you can see two different but complementary approaches here. You've got Google focusing on creating a field guide for how to use this stuff responsibly and partnering with huge research trusts. And then you have OpenAI, who are funding nonprofits and building open source tools to empower the entire research community. The big takeaway here, the shared goal, is what's really important. These huge investments aren't just about creating a new product to sell. They're about building the entire infrastructure to speed up breakthroughs. And, this is crucial, to democratize access. The goal is to make these advanced tools available to everyone, everywhere, not just a few wealthy institutions.
And all of that, it brings our whole journey right back to where we started, back to that fundamental question of trust.
I mean, think about what we've just seen. We've seen an AI that can conduct a clinical interview. We've seen an AI that can generate synthetic brains to unlock the secrets of disease. And we've seen the billions of dollars being poured in to build this future.
So after all that, the question is still there. But it's not for researchers or for CEOs to answer. It's for you. Do you trust these AI tools for yourself or for someone you love? It's something we're all going to have to think about and decide for ourselves.